Well, welcome everyone. It's good to have people in the audience. Welcome to our December 9th City of Philomath City Council meeting. We will first get started with a roll call.
All right, Diane Crocker.
Here.
Christopher McMorrin.
Here.
Posey.
Here.
Jess Jones.
I'm here. Excellent. And we're just noting that Councilor Nielsen and Councilor Andrade are not going to be here this evening. So first, we have public comment. If anybody is here for public comment. Brad? No? All right. Next, we have our consent agenda. Motion to approve.
I was going to make it. Can I pull the November 24th?
You don't have to. You can just discuss it.
Oh, great. Okay. Just on, let's see, page 8 of 40, on line 36, under ordinances and resolutions there. It's very minor, but just changing, instead of from park to playground, it was from public park to playground.
On the page you referenced, I'm not seeing.
8 of 40.
Agenda page 8 of 40, line 36. It says action amend 9.30 part.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to have a script because this was a Scrivener's correction. Want to make a motion to amend?
No, should be.
Okay. Okay. I'll move.
The word public already exists, but
We're striking it though. So
Strike public.
go do amendment.
Wouldn't it still be a public playground?
Well, that wasn't the motion that I think I made in the meeting. It was just playground. We got rid of the word public. So yeah, I moved that. Yes.
So you make a motion to amend to add the word public before park.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Sure. I'm sorry, you're adding public
Yes.
before playground.
Before park. So it reads amend 9.30.090 part A on page 4 line 12 from public park to playground.
Okay. So it could be a public.
That is how it would read. I'm not trying to make a policy decision. That is I think the wording I used during the meeting, so I just wanted it to reflect that.
So we have a motion on the table, seconded by Councilor Causey. Or sorry, Councilor Crocker. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay. So now we've amended the motion. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended?
Second.
The motion made by Councilor Crocker, seconded by Councilor Causey. Seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. I'm just going to note that we are going to add an item under new business. Item number 3. We are currently the Chamber of Commerce needs our Samaritan Award nominations today instead of in January like normal.
Oh.
So we're going to add that under new business. Item number 3. Now we're going to refer to the Inclusivity Committee appointment. We have a applicant for the Inclusivity Committee. Chris, do you want to walk us through that?
Yeah, so we've had a vacancy there all year long. Before we'd even started advertising or publicizing vacancies for January, when we'll do a lot of appointments, we received an application in from Jen Amador, and felt rather than hold that application all the way through January, let's go ahead and just fill that spot now, and then we have fewer positions to advertise for and to try to fill between now and then. So their application is submitted, or was submitted, meet all of the minimum qualifications, which aren't really any, so staff's recommended we put them to essentially fill the current vacancy that expires December 31st, 2025.
Okay. Any, Councilor Causey?
I move to appoint Jen Amador to the Inclusivity Committee with the terms expired December 31.
Excellent. We have a motion made by Councilor Causey, seconded by Councilor Crocker. Any further discussion? Councilor Causey.
Just like to express my support for Jen. She's BIPOC. She's Indigenous Latina, and I think
Confidential information.
I would like to express my support for her interest in expanding the representation of people of color on the.
Thank you. Any further comments? All in favor of the motion as stated, please raise your hand, say aye. Aye. Thank you, motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Jen. We look forward to having you on the Inclusivity Committee for this coming year. Next we have rollout of the new city logo. That was a drum roll for those.
This guy like that. Good work.
Chelsea.
Yeah, I'll speak to this. And hope that Christopher and Ruth will chime in too if I miss anything, Chris. So we came to you in August and with a proposition to kind of streamline our city logo design and selection process. We have a new website that we're working on, and that was the catalyst for us trying to get that moving. So tonight we have an exciting feel of the logo. Several of you have seen a little bit of it. And I just wanted to say, I was telling Chris earlier that I'm a member of Engaging Local Government Leaders, ELGL, and have been for years. And they do a mug exchange every year where you can exchange a mug from your city or your community with another person in the country that they pair you up with. And I've done this every year for, I think, this will be my 7th year. And I have never had a city mug to share. I've always had to go out and find something Oregon related or, so I've had to go out and search for something, which was great. They were good mugs, but I'm very excited because I've received a number of logo mugs in that exchange. And I just am thrilled that we have our own city mugs now. And this year I get to send a mug to, I think it's Michigan. My person's in Michigan. So it's very exciting for us to just have this opportunity, and not every small community, gets to do this because it's, just something that often falls by the wayside. But I'm very happy that this council saw it as a priority, and it's going to look really great on our new website, which is happening. So I'm really excited.
What's it look like?
Yeah. First,
Oh,
I have some for each of you. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna hand these out. Let's wait until everyone has it, and then you can. Yes, this is like.
I know, this is great.
Yeah, Diane.
I missed them.
You just gotta feel it. You can feel the logo. Oh, good for you.
So,
Wait for us to open
you get
it.
to
It's
see
something
it on the cool.
we get to
I think we can figure that out, right?
Go for it.
get that.
Cool.
Mary's Peak, I like that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna run through a little.
Cheers.
Did you have anything to say about it, Christopher or Ruth? I have a few little slides here from our designer, but.
I feel like do the slides and then.
Okay. All right. To provide something,
This would make a great Christmas ornament on the governor's Christmas tree.
Oh,
it would.
uh-oh.
We wanted to provide something tangible for you. Got some stickers in there you can put on water bottle. Weren't able to bring the van with the new sticker. That's the point.
Probably do a little larger sticker for the.
Not just this.
Okay. So this is from our designers, Andrea and Deanne that we worked with on the downtown streetscape project. Let me see if I can figure out how to scroll through on this. Oh, no.
Well,
It's scrolling.
Try the keyboard.
Up, down, arrow.
hey,
So they gave us a little bit of information about the keywords that they pulled from our sessions. We had brainstorming sessions about what Philomath means to us, and what we talked about all kinds of things in there. Things that people think about Philomath, things people from outside Philomath might think about Philomath versus inside Philomath. And some of the things they took away from that session were that it's halfway between the city and the coast, that it has this nice little pocket of proximity between the best of all the worlds. Small is simple, that it's inclusive and curious, growing and changing, that their afternoon winds are always a thing in Philomath, like every day. And that Philomath has the best of both worlds, that the city is nearby, so you have resources, but country, small town living. And this is just really getting to the end of reading. So they noted that the logo includes the illustration of Mary's Peak, complemented by the forms representing the Mary's River. People see different things in the blue. Some people see ocean waves, rolling hills, like the little wetland fields, Mary's River, and then it's nestled in between the hills. And they really did a custom font for us on this so that we had a nice balance between the logo imagery and the city of Philomath. We have a brand guide as well that we're just finalizing, which is really exciting because we have lots of options for our logos, which they show some of right here. So we do have the monogram, the P, in case we have places that will make more sense. And we also have the ability with lots of white background, black. We've got all the options to be able to use this in a lot of different places, including, online, printed on things, clothing. So, and then our color pattern, as they note, is taken from the surrounding natural area. And they pulled in, everything looks different on screen, so it's hard, but what you have on there is pretty accurate with the colors. So they've given us a variety of color options so that we are able to work with this, and especially things that we do on social media, print products, and they try to tie it in with the wood and copper downtown. And these are some patterns. We haven't talked through these yet with them, but they did put them in there. They've given us options of little patterns that you can use just in your social media and such. To coordinate with the fonts. And they have a couple options here that are really neat. We got to look at some of this when we were doing our project with them. So they've shown an example of a business card, maybe signage that we put up on something, banners, and Christopher's van. Christopher's really pushing for the van, so they really did that one up. It has the pattern and the logo. Fully wrapped, so it's very exciting. There it is in all its glory. And did you two want to say anything about the process to the other council members?
It was really interesting, and really, I know you had some experience in this, Chelsea, but getting the right mix of colors together and optional color palettes was challenging than you might expect, and they're very good at what they do. It's really fun.
yeah, I would echo that, and it was a very interesting process, and I think, the world will never know the other branches this could have taken, because there were some very different designs that came up. that everyone felt comfortable with and pretty excited about. So I was really happy that I think it has a good blend of kind of the nostalgia feel and the more sort of sleek modern feel. I know that was something we talked about a lot. There were some logos that felt very kind of modern and corporate, which didn't feel like Philomath, and then there were some that felt like very kind of, you know, old-timey Western town, which also didn't feel really appropriate for what we wanted. And so this felt like kind of a good, you know, way to balance that. But yeah.
Yeah, and I also wanted to thank, we had members from Maxtivity, Visit Corvallis, and City of Corvallis who worked with us, so want to thank them in this meeting. I think everyone, for the most part, participated in all of our meetings. And then we had a little bit of email feedback with the designers, so, yeah, this is really exciting. Chris and I cannot wait, for you to see the website. We just had our design meeting with the website developer last week. And they're working on some of those mock-ups for us, so it's really exciting for Philomath moving forward. We have a new logo, new website. It's just gonna be, just really great for us. I think it's just a huge step up for us.
Will the website functionality change?
Yes, yeah, so, the new website has a lot of different features than the current website that we have, does, including just our outreach efforts. But there's a lot of, functions on the back end for the city staff to use that really helps us get things out more efficiently. Just, things will be more connected, more cohesive. So yes, I think you'll really enjoy the new website. We've got some good features for the front page that we're going to be able to do. And just, it will save us time, which will allow us to put more on the website.
Excellent. Well, it looks great. I'm really excited. Yeah.
You can think of it every time you have your coffee in the morning.
And what we got a new logo? Emma?
Yep.
Got a new logo.
Oh, so very exciting.
Pretty cool. Excellent.
I appreciate that.
So, who are going to talk to us about Samaritan Awards?
Oh, I can take first crack, get it started. So Samaritan Awards, I think everybody's familiar here, so we won't talk too acknowledging about it, but we did just hear this afternoon from the Chamber of Commerce that they want our nominations by the 1st of January. So they've gotten the time for their committee to talk through them, which means we have tonight to make some recommendations or nominations. So typically in the past, we do one for the city, which is essentially like the City Volunteer of the Year from the City of Philomath. And then they welcome us to make nominations at large for business, nonprofit of the year, People's Choice Award, and then the First Citizens, there's a junior, a First Citizen, senior First Citizen, and I'm missing one, future First Citizen. So teenager, early 20s, middle age, regular age, middle career, mid-career, or non-career, and then senior. So we're invited to make nominations for those. I would recommend we start with our City Volunteer of the Year to be recognized. Again, in the past, that's been somebody on council, coming off council, one of our committee members, somebody coming off of one of the committees. And then once we've got that established, then we can discuss anybody that the city would like to nominate for any of those other entities. I would say from staff standpoint, the first name that came to our mind and we talked about this evening, we've got a 2-term planning commissioner that's coming off, Gary Connor. He was a committee member for 4 years and he's been the chair of that planning commission for the last 4 years. So he's termed out, he'll be coming off. We'll recognize him in January at the city council meeting. I think he'd be a good nomination for this award as well.
How many other folks have like terms
Right
ending.
off.
Summer.
Lindy Young is the other one that comes to mind. She's been on the park board for a number of years. I think she actually termed out and nobody else had applied, so we had her come back on. We love Lindy and she's been awesome. She's been recognized in the past for other things and other commitments at the Samaritan Awards, so that would be the only reason I would lean towards Gary over her if it was me, but, outside of those two, we've got a few others that their terms are expiring, but I don't think they're actually termed out. I think it's those two that are being termed out.
A lot of people reapplying.
Okay.
Through the list, yeah, have already reapplied.
Councilor Carly?
I would nominate Gary Connor. I think he really had a stabilizing influence on the planning commission, which, prior to his taking that role was, somewhat challenging.
Yep. I'll second that. So we have a motion made by Councilor Crosby, seconded by myself. Any further discussion? Or additional nominations? Oh,
Do this off like this.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so that motion carries unanimously.
I tried to go in and follow the links to credentials or what they were looking for specifically for business, nonprofit of the year, and People's Choice Award. I couldn't get the links to go through, or I needed permissions to do it, so I don't have much more detail than what you have, unfortunately. Other than I can make some assumptions of what a business of the year, nonprofit of the year, and what a People's Choice Award may be.
Well, I would like to make a nomination for the Senior First Citizen.
We can pick whatever order you want.
Yeah.
Sure.
Senior First Citizen, I would like to nominate Ruth Kazi. She's done,
She's not old
I was
enough.
gonna say, junior.
Junior person.
I think that Ruth has done so much for the city. She's really represented the city very well in the city council. I really appreciated having her by my side throughout my 4 years as mayor, and prior to that as a councilor. I think we were sitting right next to each other as well. And yeah, so I would like to nominate Ruth Kazi for Senior First Citizen if she would accept that.
I'm honored.
Any other nominations or discussion? Councilor Moore?
Just I think it would be normal first citizen, I don't know, but I know last year, I think we nominated Janelle LaJoy, and I was sad that she didn't get it, but of course, the recipient was also very deserving, but I was just thinking it might be nice to re-nominate her for that with all of her efforts in the community to build community and bring folks together.
So that's Junior First Citizen, is that what that one's called?
Probably first
Citizen.
Yeah.
We have
Is there big of that? We can just go consensus unless anybody feels strongly otherwise. Okay, so we can submit. I think I've got the write up from last year and I can embellish on it. Or things specific to this last year.
Sure.
Okay.
Anyone for Junior First Citizen? And again, this is for city related stuff.
Right. And what's the age range for juniors? Do we remember?
I think it goes up to maybe up to
30?
I want to say this one goes up to, I was going to say 29, 28, maybe
Like
26.
18 to
like that.
30 something? Okay.
Councilor Cocker?
Oh, is this junior or future?
Either one.
What's the youngest?
Future is
Future.
up to 18, I believe.
Okay, that's the one I would like to nominate, Liam Bennett. He's a Boy Scout. He's very involved in the community. I believe he's involved in 4-H too, but he, for example, was at the Veterans Day thing that we did. He's at several city things as a Boy Scout. And he represents our city well. I think he's a sophomore or junior.
Yeah, and are there any other suggestions for for future first citizen under 18 years old?
Would it be inappropriate to nominate Katie for the junior first citizen?
Katie,
Katie, our frolicking rodeo queen,
oh,
or is that?
She's not a
Junior.
citizen of Philomath, and that makes me iffy on that one. I support her for so many things.
Is that for city-related stuff or for other?
She represents the city.
I mean, but Frolic could also
yeah,
nominate.
the citizens are community-wide.
Right,
The
right.
city, we really should be nominating like how they've like worked with the city and the community, but they're pretty open on recommendations or nominations on those, and frankly, I think the more, the better pool they have to select from, so.
What was Liam's age, Diane?
I'm guessing at 15.
Okay, so there's, the future is 18 and under, junior is 19 to 39. First citizen is 40 to 64, and senior is 65 and older.
Woohoo, you just made it.
The only other one I thought for the future would be Owen, that did the flower bed at Mark as part of his Eagle project. He was there at the ribbon cutting as well and took part in that event and got some nice recognition during that event as well. But he's another scout that I would come to mind.
I don't know the line, so.
Yeah.
This doesn't work to come up with the top of my head. I give thought.
So we have two folks, so in reference to the junior, which do we want to pick out of the two?
When was Liam Bennett?
Liam, Liam.
Wait, that's for future.
Yes, this is for future.
Right. And, yeah, without having a chance to dig some background, it's really difficult to just,
Did you nominate him last year?
Liam, no. I nominated Tanner Dallas, who was the chosen one. Yeah.
Chosen one.
The other way is to flip a coin.
Yeah.
Or both, honestly.
Is
That's true.
Owen under 19?
He's a high school senior this year.
I thought he graduated last year.
Can we nominate?
Maybe he did.
I think he was
Anyway.
last year.
This works.
Why don't we nominate?
Okay, we're nominating both.
What's the age group up to for future?
Good
Under
question.
19, I think.
Yeah, there's 18 and under,
Oh.
19 to, it's 18 and under for future. Junior's 19 to 39. You have someone in that age group?
I like them both
19
very
to
much.
39.
I think they're both deserving, but
Quick write-up on both of them and submit them.
Okay, cool. So we have someone for each of our citizens.
Business, nonprofit of the year, and People's Choice Award.
I have a business nomination and you'll have to tell me whether it qualifies. It is right outside the city limits. I believe it's Fitness Over 50. I go there on a regular basis and half of Philomath is there. Half of Philomath, my age, is there. And they have made a real difference in the seniors in the area because they have, they are knowledgeable and helpful and I think have expanded lives.
Chelsea, can you see if that's a Corvallis business?
It is a city, it's in City of Corvallis.
I'm trying to see what the guidelines are here.
We've given, other businesses not located in Philomath have been awarded in the past.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything about that criteria.
Chenard's technically in Corvallis.
One step farther away. The Fitness Over 50 is on
Literally,
Bernard.
Seating got recognized a few
Right.
years back.
They're in Tangent.
I think if they have an impact on the community,
They're culturally Philomath.
I'm saying,
If I remember correctly, Philomath News has one before.
I tried nominating them last year and they said they've already won. Is that right?
So is anybody opposed to the fitness over 50 for business of the year?
I guess I would prefer to nominate someone who's in the city, but I, not having thought about this and not coming up with anyone, so I'm trying to think.
I have another thought.
Okay.
Like Fitness for 50. The creative graphics, have they ever won? Because they do all of our banners and signs and quite a bit of stuff for the city.
Not to add to your plate, but I do just want, I think it's a good part to recognize Dirt Road Brewing
Yeah.
as well, just because they really came together for us for our streetscape and music in the park sponsors. Not that,
Have they gotten it? I
I
feel like,
don't know,
Dirt Road Brewing?
yeah. Okay. I feel like we nominated them before.
the street party as well.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing the street party. They just received the $10,000 for the facade improvement. I'm buying the spot next door and fixing up the facade.
And they are gonna build this shelter, right?
Build what?
The
Kiosk.
The kiosk, yeah.
I am holding to that, absolutely. He offered in a public meeting, so yes.
I feel like
Get behind that.
yeah, me too.
Want to pick one?
Dirt Road.
The road.
Okay, I got 3 for Dirt Road and 1 silent party, so.
Okay.
One fitness over.
He's trying to be healthy. We're all
It
drinking
sounds like a
beer and
good
eating
place to
pizza.
check out though.
Yeah, it's
Nonprofit. I don't know much about the People's Choice Award, so I can't have a nonprofit.
the cleaners.
You can do any
Have to be.
nonprofit we like.
Well, I'm assuming Philomath Community Services is one.
I think they got it the first year, yeah. Which I think they did.
Is
Number 50 for People's Choice.
is the Chamber of Commerce eligible?
Oh,
Oh, I thought they.
I think they wouldn't
them.
give it to
They're
them.
the ones hosting this, and I wouldn't think that would
Board
work for
selects it.
I mean, we could try, but I don't.
It seemed like they were pretty instrumental in getting us through streetscapes and.
Happy to nominate them and they don't have to accept it.
We'll see how humble they are.
They're like, you know what? We actually are the greatest.
Close enough.
Not sure if they're C3, but I don't know if they hold them to the C3 or it's just a nonprofit.
Yeah.
It's just nonprofit.
Are we all good with Chamber of Commerce? No?
I'm not, but I'm only one person.
But do you have other thoughts?
The cleaners
Oh.
Oh,
yes,
the
ma'am.
at Philomath Community Services.
Do you think this has been an extraordinary year for them?
I think it's been an extraordinarily difficult year. Working, they have 145 members and they feed 464 people. And they take boxes of food to community members that are shut-ins and can't get out. They have worked together for at least 20 years for our community. And I think they're not as well known, and so that would be another reason I would want to bring them to the forefront.
Are we okay with cleaners?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm okay with cleaners. Let's do that.
I would take them over in the chamber then.
Cleaners.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to hear the People's Choice?
Oh, sure.
People's Choice, favorite business that connects with the community and their customers for going above and beyond. Public vote is a large portion of it, and then the, sounds like the award committee is another portion, so mostly it's the public, so I think it's saying like share it, so I think if they're nominated, they get to a list and there's a public vote.
I would suggest that Vin would is a Great People's Choice Award. They are just busy all the time and they bring a livelihood to the evening that was totally absent in Philomath before that.
Have they applied?
I don't believe so.
I've never heard them.
Did you play trivia there?
No. I'm not smart enough. I tried it once and I failed.
I've gotten second.
What?
I've
Gotten second at the trivia, but not ever first, yes. There's a team.
I've jointly won first.
Yes.
I don't know, it's escaping up with the Janelle's Pizza deal qualify there better than maybe, or are we thinking Janelle because it's both of those?
For People's Choice Award.
Yeah, for People's Choice. Might have, yeah, pizza.
I could go for that. I guess I would maybe go for that over Vinwood, not to pick a favorite, but just because I feel like Mud Oven Pizza is a little more related to the city.
Want to do Mud Oven Pizza?
Have we nominated, or the farmer's market one in the past?
Or a nonprofit now.
Yeah, Bountiful
They're
Backyard.
a nonprofit. I don't think they're, they're under. I can't remember the
I
name
think
of it.
so. It was nominated last year. I mean,
Back there.
that's what I recall. But maybe didn't receive it, so.
Pizza? Mud Oven Pizza? I don't think we got a guess on Mud Oven Pizza.
If that frees up the first citizen, I think Mayor Jones would be a good recommendation there as well. He's done more than just be our mayor. I think he's really been an active mayor in the community, you know, the parade, putting on the party a couple years ago. I think he's been a good ambassador for the city, not just the mayor at city council meetings. I think he's done a good job.
We have to be 40 for that though, so.
Oh,
We qualify for that at least. I'm gonna abstain from that conversation.
but you wouldn't decline, would you?
No.
Of the votes, I was just throwing a name out there. So,
I'm-
others as well, so.
I guess I'm fine with it, except my only thing is I feel like the mayor kind of is the first citizen. You know, like that's where that term comes from. It's like the Roman Empire. But not to equate, but just like if it's an opportunity to, you know, lift up people who don't already get publicly recognized. But I'm good either way because I can't think of other people off the top of my head. So.
I'm honored, thank you.
So are you gonna have toga parties?
I have somebody for everything other than junior, right? And nobody had a
We did
junior.
junior
There was
was
future.
Yeah.
We did two for
Tell me again,
future.
juniors 19 through 20 or something like that.
They're 19 through 30.
39.
19 to 39.
It's a big spread.
Gosh.
And I got it when I was like,
You don't qualify yet until you're.
yeah.
We don't have to pick someone for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
There's gotta be somebody that's perfect, but I cannot. off the top of my head.
No.
Nominated Trey Ecker last year for his volunteerism. He's a volunteer coach. He has also worked with learning disabled children, and he started the basketball that is United Basketball. Is that what it's called?
Unified.
Unified. That's the one. Yeah. He's the one that brought that to our community. All very good that he's done, but I don't know, you know, I did know him, and
So we have a suggestion of Trey Eckert. Trey Eckert,
yes, Trey.
how do you feel about this?
I feel like I'd just echo my same sentiment from earlier. Trey's great. I just don't know if it's like a City of Philomath thing, but yeah.
I don't feel strongly either way.
I feel like if we don't feel strongly, maybe we should leave it blank.
Okay. So we got everything you need?
I believe so.
Thank you all, appreciate the conversation.
If any of you have very strong feelings about any of those we talked about, you can email in the next couple days. And I'll incorporate your thoughts and, otherwise staff will just make nomination.
We had a good person on the budget committee. I don't know his age. He's sitting in our audience. We've done a lot of committees for our city.
Yes, I believe so. No, I think it's probably,
Too old?
This is really hard because we're guessing it. Yeah, see. The HR.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
We be good at that?
I think that's good. So, Chris, do you want any help? Because I know like last year, if we were the one that brought someone up, you wanted us to write up the thing. Do you want us to do that again this year? Like,
I'll do a little and kick it out, and then if you wanna add to and kick it back to me, then that's fine.
okay.
We'll figure out how to use AI now.
Oh, God.
Songs for each of you.
I'll win.
Okay, let's move on to the next thing on the agenda. We have, ordinance number 889. The first reading.
So this is ordinance number 889, an ordinance proclaiming the annexation of certain described real property to the city of Philomath and amending the Philomath Comprehensive Plan map and zoning map designation from low-density residential to high-density residential for property in the city of Philomath. Specifically, this is a result of the land use decision the city council made last month on the Cribs property. So this was the annexation and zone change for the property on South 15th Street. Following that land use comes the ordinance. The ordinance is what officially gets kicked over to Department of Revenue so they can get it in their records and kind of chain of events. So, yeah, there's specific questions to it. I can answer those. Otherwise, when we're ready, it's a roll call vote for.
Any questions?
Somebody has to read this, right?
Just read the title. If it's unanimous, if you'd like the entire thing read, we can do that. But if there's no request for it to be read in its entirety, then just the title is fine.
Any comments, questions? Roll call vote then.
Diane Crocker,
Yes.
Christopher McMorrin,
Yes.
Ruth Cullen,
Yes.
Matt Jones,
Yes. Excellent. Next on the agenda, we have ordinance 890, amending Philomath Municipal Code, chapter 1815, and adding chapter 1860 to create a climate friendly area overlay.
Well, that's the first reading. Perfect. Again, this is a result from the land use decision from last month where the city council approved the addition to this. This is the formal ordinance that adopts the language into our municipal code. Again, happy to answer any specific questions, but this should be exactly as you saw it at the last meeting. And there's a roll call vote in here.
Any comments, questions? We'll start with the roll call vote.
Diane Crocker,
Yes.
Christopher McMorrin,
Yes.
Ruth Cullen,
Yes.
Matt Jones.
Yes. Excellent. And then we have resolution 24-23 establishing 2025 system development charge rates. If you walk through this.
Yeah, so our SDCs get established and then in order for them to not lag behind the cost of all these construction projects, our methodology for each of them directs that we will update them on an annual basis based on an index. It's the ENR index. It's Engineering News Review. It's a nationwide index that's used. It's actually many of them, but the most common one is the 20 cities average for construction costs. So they're kind of like the CPI in some ways, and basing your, like the cost of living adjustment on your CPI. This is adjusting your construction cost estimates on this Engineering News Review index. It didn't go up very much this last year from December of last year to this year. It only went up under 1%, 0.87%. So we're just adjusting all of our STCs that 0.87%. So in order to build a new house in Philomath and connect into city utilities this year, it's going to cost you 0.87% more in 2025 than what it did in 2024. We've typically, in the past, we've done this in January just because we lag a little bit. I think going forward, we'll do this in December, so it's effective January 1st of the first of the year. We give notice out to the public. Generally speaking, for minor adjustments like this, we only have to just give the notice. For changes to the methodology, we give like a 3 or 4 month notice. We'll be doing that shortcoming for our stormwater STC methodology, which is going to be getting updated soon. But for something like this, it's annual. It's just so there's a resolution that passes that states everything. Again, happy to answer any specific questions, but there aren't any. There's a sample language for a recommended motion.
Any questions for Gav?
I know in the past we have at times compared our SDCs with other communities.
We've done that when we've looked at the methodology and updated, but we're actually kind of careful to not do that when we're just doing these annual increases. It's kind of a joke, but it's not really a joke. It's the saying goes, you know, if you want to find somebody who's got lower STCs in your community, just look for somebody who hasn't updated them, but you know, furthest from when you do, because as soon as you update them, they're going to increase. And so they're always kind of jump frogging each other. You know, we could look at Albany's STCs and say, hey, if they're higher than us, well, it must be because they've just updated their methodology. And as soon as we update ours, then ours are going to jump. And so that holds true on the averages, but the reality is it costs more water for some communities. It costs more money to make water in some communities than others. They've got better, they've got shorter distances to travel. They've got better equipment. They've got better whatever. They've got more people buying into it. So there's just a lot that goes into developing the methodology for all of these. And so it gets a little bit hard to compare to other communities. I will say in Philomath, we've taken a lot of effort. We've put a lot of effort into making sure that any project that is on our 10-year construction list is a project that we actually foresee doing in the next 10 years. And it's that list of projects and the total cost of that project is what goes into establishing what our SDC rates are. And so if you have 20 years worth of projects that you may or may not do, and you calculate your SDCs based on that large number, your SDCs are going to be inflated, we would say, right? They're still legally justifiable, but the reality is you're not going to realize all of those projects over that 10 or 20 year horizon. So again, to repeat myself, we've been very intentional to make sure when we look at our project lists, our capital project lists for each of, you know, our projects, water, sewer, street, parks, we're really only looking at, although the law says we can go out 10 years, we're really only looking about 10 years out to say, what are we really going to get done in 10 years? What's that project total? And then what percentage of that total do we put on current users, current utility users? What percentage do we put on new users? And that's how we get to this SDC level. So I think we've been very intentional and very honest with our community what that cost is, and that's already kind of reflected in our current rates. with the exception of our storm, which we haven't updated in a long time. We've just updated our stormwater master plan, and now we'll be updating our stormwater methodology, which is going to look at that new list of projects for storm. So storm's the one asterisk. Legally, we're fine, but it's been so long since we've updated that list that I would say that it's there, but it's kind of a placeholder. It's not a very accurate reflection of the true cost of our current stormwater project list, which is the one that's going to be getting updated this year. So
Is the stormwater, is that the one that has the lowest capacity remaining? Or is it sewer?
it has I'm not sure if we make capacity.
Well, I was struck when we reviewed the Cribs property and, you know, there was plenty of water, stormwater or sewer, where there was not a lot of capacity.
We don't have like a regional stormwater capacity because stormwater tends to be more isolated into smaller regions. Stormwater, stormwater is a little bit trickier to talk about capacity. For the water plant, we have a water plant, water reservoirs. For sewer, we have a sewer treatment plant. For storm, we have a whole bunch of little collection areas. And so depending on where it is, then you may have access capacity. If your other areas, we may be deficient in that area of town. So it's a little more spotty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you need a motion? I move that we pass resolution 24-23, establishing the 2021 monthly rates as proposed.
Excellent. A motion?
I'll second that.
Motion made by Councilor Causey, seconded by Councilor McMorrin. Any further discussion, comments, or questions? Councilor McMorrin.
I know at some point the water treatment plant was still factored into these, even though we got that. Is that still the case? And what's with that?
Yeah, so we've put the RFP out at this point for the utility rate study.
Yeah.
And so the goal is when the utility rate study comes back in, we'll look at that. Again, a percentage of the total cost is on the improvement portion of it. Some of it's the reimbursement portion of it. Try not to get too in the nuts and bolts too much here, but a large percentage of the new plant is replacement by existing customers, right? Because we're not just building a new plant with
Sure.
new capacity, we're also replacing an existing plant that's being used by everybody today. So a smaller percentage of that is going to be caught up in these SDCs. So there'll be some update and change to the methodology once we get past a completion date and an actual cost that we know as opposed to an estimated cost. There'll be an update, but it won't be as significant as what I think we'll see in stormwater. So once that's done, then we'll look to do an update. And but typically those types of projects, we're going to look at SDCs every 5 to 7 years. We're going to look at the methodology and track it. And then this is kind of what we do in between, in those 4 or 5 years in between. And then the master plans themselves, we're going to look at every 10 to 15 or 20 years is probably 15 years. We'll look at the master plan and that full list. So I think our current water master plan was just done in 2018. So had the plant been completed on time, that would have been an appropriate time to look at it. We're kind of just waiting until the plant's done. We know what the total cost was, and we'll probably look to do an update to our water master plan and recalculate the methodology. Good question.
Any additional questions for staff? And seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I could beat down you guys a little bit there.
Anything wanted to discuss on that or highlight in management report?
Yes. Highlighted on this sheet. But it's all there. I'm happy to get questions. I think I just wanted to highlight the electronic reader board down at Public Works. I know we took a few complaints from neighbors when those poles went up in the neighborhoods. but I can tell you, we are, if not weekly, daily, seeing the benefits of having live coverage of people's water use. When we've got leaks, they're getting detected earlier. When we're getting shut-offs, we can immediately know whether somebody's disabled the shut-off. So it just, again, if not weekly, daily, if not daily, at least weekly, we're seeing the benefits of that program. It came with some cost to it, but the benefits have been great. We're just being able to provide much better service to our water utility rate customers. Being able to have that 24/7 list to their meters in that system. So that's one that we're really seeing, and it affects public works, it affects the office here. We're definitely seeing the savings in time. And what you don't see is public works has been so great. It's kind of the new toy syndrome. You know, you get the new toy and it's got all these alarms and emails that come out and text messages that come to your phone. And so, you know, we're constantly running, I'll say a large range, 10 to 30 like issues with our billing that were like just kind of always out there, and you'd solve one and another creep up and you get another two figured out and another few creep up. Since we've implemented this and everybody can kind of see those displays, we've been running like 0 issues on utility customer meters for the last several weeks. I'll say 2, 3 solid, because as soon as an alarm comes up, it's like, woo, stop everything, go out there, we got to adjust it, we got to fix it, we got to replace the meter, we got to do this, we got to do whatever. And it's just because it's real time, right? Which is so different than, oh, we got the report from something happened over the last 30 days. And just that sense of urgency, we got to get it fixed, wasn't there, because we just didn't know about it until 30 days later. Now we know about it every hour if we want it, and so it's like, let's not check the water like every hour, maybe like once a day or every couple days. But again, it's just better service overall to our water system. It's better, literally better customer service to our customers. And our water department folks are super excited that they've got this great new tool. So that doesn't get caught necessarily in dollars and cents, but it's just a much better system than what we used to have. So using technology to save some money, improve customer service, the use of technology has been huge in this case.
I see something on there about this Starlight generator coming online on December 13th.
Like a ribbon cutting.
The ribbon cutting out there.
Bring a band.
And Councilor Cos is like, and with that, I'm out of here.
He's actually gonna resign on October or December 14th.
Wow.
And then also I noticed the nice little decorated lights out there on the street.
Yeah,
Pretty awesome.
Thank kudos again for Public Works for taking that on. We just weren't finding the right bracket that was going to do everything we wanted. So we've got some skills there in-house. Kevin took that on. Not Public Works Director Kevin, but Public Works employee Kevin. Welder. I could build those. Did? Yeah. Knocked those out. So took it on, bought the parts that he needed and the steel that he needed, and got it powder coated and got the brackets up. So you're getting a little sampling this year. We'll add more. We'll buy more next year. We'll buy more the year after. So we're trying to be conscious of the budget, and we'll add a few more over the next few years. But really want to commend Public Works for doing that. Chelsea oversaw that project on those specifically. You know, when Chris in Public Works said, hey, some of the P's are backwards, let's just cut them and turn them. Chelsea was like, no, voids the warranty. Order new ones that have the P going the other direction. So when we first started putting them out, they were put on the right and left side of the street. Well, the P was backwards on the right side of the street because they were facing the other way. So anyway, Chelsea's going to order some with the P facing the other way, so we put them on the right side of the road and the left side of the road. So our P's are all facing the right way. We gotta mind our P's. So anyway, yes, so kudos to Chelsea, kudos to Public Works. They look awesome.
We do.
Super proud of them. I love the P in them. We looked to just do trees, and it's like, let's make a Philomath tree. Added a little P in there. I think they're great.
If I can say an anecdote, and I hope she's not watching, but my mom saw them And she asked me, she was like, what does the P stand for? Is it fine? And I was like, no.
Okay.
And then she was like, oh. Yeah, exactly. Could have done this. Yeah, I know, yeah.
Excellent. Any council reports?
Just to say, we have our counselor copy on the 21st, 9:30 a.m. at Timbertown. And I think I've gotten one counselor who's said they're interested thus far. So if you would like to join, let me know. The same day as the parade, if you just want to make a day out of
I had some.
city council business, you're always welcome to.
Excellent. Anything else? With that, we have recognitions.
We do have some recognitions.
And I'm gonna finish the recognitions. I have something else I want. Oh, wow.
First and foremost, Mayor Jones, I want to thank you for your time as mayor. I want to try to do that.
Thank you very much.
Mayor Chaz Jones, January 2021 through December 2024. Thank you for your service. This is the actual gavel that you've used off the desk when you were looking. Your gavel. So hopefully you can kind of get it on your wall and always remember us. Thank you.
Use it, but there was a couple of times.
Well, at least you never hit anyone with it, that I saw.
Thank you.
Heather Mayor Jones, if you could join me, we also want to recognize our outgoing council president, Ruth Causey. Ruth Causey served on the city council since January 2019. Yeah, that was long ago. January 2019 through December of 2024. Thank you for your service.
Excellent.
Not gonna be the same.
We also just wanted to recognize Councilor Matt Lehman, who resigned earlier this year for his time as well. We've got a certificate for him that the mayor signed, so just want to acknowledge he's not here with us tonight. We just want to acknowledge that, and we'll get him that certificate of appreciation for the time he's done with the council prior to resigning for a job. So I don't think he'd mind saying to put it in there, but just so it's public, I've had a few questions. I'll just say he took a job at the Oregon Cascade West Council of Governments, which is a partner organization that we work with. They work for us sometimes. And he believed there'd be too much conflict of interest or potential conflict of interest for him to be able to be successful on the city council, which is why he resigned with taking that full-time position. But I've already sat in a few meetings along with Mr. Lehman, which has been kind of fun in his new capacity, and he's enjoying it. For a few text messages we've shared back and forth, so he'll be great in that role. He's still in town. He still loves Philomath. Just too much conflict of interest with his new profession, his new job. So we're happy for him. And in January, we'll be looking to appoint his replacement. So that's still out there. I think we go all the way through. Where does that go through, Crystal?
31st?
Yeah, through the end of the year.
Yeah.
So still got to the end of the year. I'll say we do have a couple of applications in already, but happy for anybody watching from home to put in an application, and that'll be decided by the council at the January meeting. And on that note, since we're there, because we're not going to make that appointment until January, I've talked to incoming Mayor McMorrin, and normally we would make all of those council committee appointments at that first meeting in January. We're going to wait and do that at the second meeting in January, so we can make the appointment in the first meeting, and then depending on who that appointment is, then he can work through and work with the then new members of the council to make up the subcommittees, police committee, finance admin, and public works committees, as well as the liaison positions and appointments. So that will all take place the second meeting in January rather than the first meeting in January. And swearing in ceremony is still scheduled for January the 7th. That'll be here, so that's a good opportunity to come and friends and family, and we'll get everybody sworn in and take some photos. And that'll be one less thing we have to do that first meeting in January as well.
What's the date of the first meeting?
The first meeting is the, one that comes to mind, but I think it's around
13th.
13th, yeah, 13th.
Excellent.
You wanna talk about the 7 p.m.?
Sure. We've been meeting earlier on that second meeting. We still propose, and we could talk more of this with the new council members, but we've been meeting at 7 on the first meeting. We've been having a second meeting of the month as needed, if there's spillover. We've been a little more, adamant about having that second meeting if the first meeting's just getting too long, just because it was getting a little unbearable for folks to have such a large agenda that first meeting in order to avoid a second. I think the council's welcome to having that second meeting if it means the first meeting is a little shorter. And we do roll over and have items, there may be items actually on the agenda that roll over we don't get to that night, but more than not, it's me and the mayor saying, that can wait a couple more weeks, let's just go ahead and have that second meeting of the month and just cover those topics. We've been holding that meeting at 6 o'clock instead of 7. I think it's confusing for people and it's added to confusion, which we don't want to do. So we're just gonna keep that meeting at 7 as well, would be the proposal. So city council meetings will always be at 7 o'clock, regardless of which week, second or fourth. We will still look to do work sessions ahead of time as needed. And in fact, I want to drop on the calendar, we talked briefly on this, but I'll pitch it here, just so we've got it on the radar, everybody's radar. That second meeting in January, I'd like to plan to have, because we have this one topic we just talked about of the appointments. In years past, we've done a retreat of some sort. It's hard, Saturdays are valuable and people don't want to give them up, so I'd like to recommend that we just look at doing a retreat that Monday evening, the 27th. And I think we can get a good 4 hours out of everybody. We would do dinner between 5:30, get here when you can, let's do dinner. And then we'll get a couple of hours of work in. We'll have our regularly scheduled meeting at 7 o'clock, so that'll be kind of a break from the work session. Work session will be focused on strategic plan, as we talked through, and kind of giving that a good facelift and good once over. So we'll work on strategic plan. At 7 o'clock, we'll have the council meeting, cover at least that one agenda item and others if they come up. And then we'll close that, and then we're gonna keep you here until we can get through the rest of the strategic plan. I'm thinking probably 9:30 or so, get another hour and a half, 2 hours out of you. So we'll save this a Saturday. It'll be a longer Monday, but it'll save you having to give up a Saturday. So kind of put that on the radar for the 27th, and we'll kind of bat it around a little bit more and make sure that works for everybody. So, I think that's it for anything not on the agendas, or not on the current agenda.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take a moment, as this is my last city council meeting as the mayor of the city of Philomath. And I've been incredibly fortunate to find myself serving as the mayor at a time when the city's been accomplishing so many of our long-term priorities. And, we have downtown streetscapes, we've been working on residential housing, we have a number of amazing local businesses in town. We've got, I think, a stronger sense of community with more street events, more gatherings. We just have a strong sense of community. I hear it all the time, how connected people are to Philomath. Even people in Corvallis love Philomath. Public safety is and continues to be a strength in Philomath. It's a priority. I'm so happy that we just got such a strong fire and police department. My role at the city has truly been an amazing period of time. Amazing period for me. I've been honored to serve alongside an amazing group of city staff. Chris, Chelsea, Ruth, Post, Mike, Kevin, Chief Gursky, And all of the rest of our staff are just amazing. I can't say enough good things about how impressed I've been with our staff. And the fact that we have such long-term staff just says volumes for the city. The city is a place as an employer. The city is a place that people want to call home, a place that people want to work for. I've been very impressed, and I'm really proud of all of our staff. I've also been honored to serve with an amazing city council. I'm incredibly grateful for my council president, with Kazi, who's been president with me since I started term as mayor, and I really appreciate that. And all the city councilors, I really have been really fortunate to work with all of you. I really am appreciative of that. My wife, Joanna, she's been, there. Not all of our council meetings are easy. What? She's there to help de-stress, calm sometimes, when things aren't so easy. And I really appreciate Joanna for that.
I think Joanna knows her a lot.
All of our city residents, our nonprofit partners, all of our local businesses, I just love walking into the local businesses and getting hugs and not being able to get out without having a big long conversation. And it's just such a dream to be like the mayor of a small town. We're going to be incredibly fortunate to serve in mayor for the next 4 years. And with that, I want to happy holidays to everyone. Appreciate you all. And with that, I'll adjourn this meeting in just a second. But we have to do an executive session. But we want to adjourn. So, this is when we start executive session, and I have this statement to read. I will invite you all to leave, but you can stay. Yeah, Brett, you can stay if you want. You have to go, but thank you.
That's only gonna work
Fine.
today,
Thank you. Thanks, Kyle. The Philomath City Council will now meet in executive session for purpose of discussing performance evaluations of public officers and employees. To consult legal counsel regarding current litigation or litigation likely to be filed, and to discuss the employment of public officers, employees, and agents. The executive session is held pursuant to ORS 192-660I, which allows council to meet in executive session to conduct these discussions. Designated staff, news media, and other designated persons shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience, no final decisions may be made in executive session. At the end of the executive session, we will return to open session and welcome the public back into the room. I will remind the council members and the staff that the confidences in the executive session belong to the city council as a body and not to the individual member. These confidences should only be discussed if the council as a body approves such a disclosure. If a member or a staff person does not believe they can maintain these confidences, then I would invite that member or staff person not to participate in the executive session.
Can we just pause and let Crystal do the video change? Instead of running around.